family. Hope everyone's doing well. Thank you for joining me once again on my YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed, please do so. And check out my blogs at www.memorybengesa.com. So I'm so excited to share with you my book feedback for February here on something new, something different, and something old. And I decided to do that because I do have a home library that has a lot of books, and those books have become old books that are not necessarily in circulation right now, or I mean, because each year, and all right, tell the truth, okay, each time, most times I'm in the bookstore and I tend to overdo it. I mean, I don't know if it's like an author's guilt or something like that. Like when I go to the bookstore, I just want to like buy all these books because I'm like, I understand how it is to write a book and then publish and then sell it. So I start to buy books. And what I've typically done is lean towards the genres that fascinate me, of course, and which is the genres in which I write for fiction and nonfiction. But for my something different part, I have challenged myself. I said, you know what, ma'ams? We're going to go into a bookstore and you're not even going to use that fancy smartphone to Google up the book reviews or what the book is about and what's going on. We're going to walk into a bookstore. I love book covers, so I'm going to find a book that just entices me because of its cover. And of course, I'm going to read the back. Hello. And then what I typically do is flip to the front, read a little bit of the first chapter because it's got to kind of pull me right. It's got to pull me in. And so that'll be my something different portion. And something new will be feedback from the new books, the books that are out on the market that are new. Each month I read a book. So I said, you know, I want to start sharing this information with y'all. And something old will be something from my library that I've had and just haven't cracked open. So then that also motivates me to start reading these books, right? I know. So this year for my February read, I was in an airport in Minneapolis and I walked into the bookstore and I stumbled across this. God Help the Child. This is a Toni Morrison book, and so immediately I was drawn. Like, huh? God Help the Child? What is going on with the child? So I wanted to know more. So of course I flipped it, read the information on the back, and then I'm such a bad author because I mean, I appreciate books, but I go, this is me, I go straight like so. This is what I do. Straight. Let's go straight into it. What's going on? And so right there before the first chapter is a little first. So I'm like, oh, we're onto something. And then I go straight to the first chapter and I start to read. I start to get into the first chapter just to see. Because I'm not going to use my phone for these new books that haven't necessarily come to my desk on their publishers and all that stuff. I'm just going to blindly get a book according to the book cover, according to the back information and what I read on the first chapter, and give feedback on that. And I want to say, I enjoyed this book. I did. I mean, I bought this book and I could not put it down. In the waiting for the plane, in the plane, I was finding myself halfway there, and I was into this book. Toni Morrison did an excellent job in delivering this whole story. The reason why I picked it, of course, like I said, on my something new, the book cover, the little bit of the contents on the back, and the little Bible verse in the front. And I enjoyed how the author just intertwined these characters to the full story. I am so bad when it comes to books. I am as bad as it is in movies. And my fiance, it drives my fiance crazy because I'm one of those people that when you watch a movie with me, I want to predict what's going to happen. So I love it when an author is 2 steps ahead of me, because then what I thought was going to happen wasn't what happened. So I was like, man. So that's what made me keep reading the book, because I'm like, wait, what's gonna happen? Ooh, this is what's gonna happen. And then I get to the next chapter, I'm like, and then I get to the next chapter, and then by the time I was done with this book, I was like, brilliant delivery. And so what do I take back from the book? As I've always known, and I've always said that, and it's not an insult, but it's what I feel as truth in life, that adults are children that have grown into adult bodies. The characters in these books, their behaviors, their patterns, their flaws are enticed, especially the two main characters are enticed because of this series of things that has happened in their childhood. It directly affects us, and it was a great take home from that, and I like how it was all set in there. She did a brilliant job. Now, as a Christian author, I enjoyed her penmanship, I enjoyed her craft, I enjoyed her sense of sequence, I enjoyed the surprise, the twists, the turns, and how this author conveyed the message. Now, as a Christian author, I do caution that there were some words in there that I had to blank out in my mind. Bleep, bleep, bleep. And I stop a little bit and be like, you know, but so you've been warned about that, but it doesn't take away from what the author is trying to portray. So with this book, I say this was my something different for February, and looking forward to the next book. Thank you for listening to this. I appreciate you, and you all be blessed.